This was probably one of the most fun weeks of my life. Hi everyone, my name is Kevin Chaires and today I'll share my story doing a large event photography. And if you saw my last video, you know where this is going. So back in May we had Vibrart, the Arts and Culture Festival of my university, where I currently work in the Communications and Social Media department. And this festival was kind of a big deal here since it was the first time it was held face to face after the lockdown. And luckily I was one of the few selected countrywide to make content for it. So, enjoy! I arrived at the Mexico City airport around 6 AM to get on the flight to Guadalajara, Jalisco, which is an hour away by plane. And after landing in the city, my co-workers from other cities and I, we stayed there waiting for the other flights to arrive, and then we went to the Guadalajara campus, which, by the way, I hadn't visited beforehand at all. We stayed in the dorms and toured a part of the enormous campus for a while. Then we left to have a nice dinner at a nearby mall, you know, as a treat, since we were going to have quite a busy week ahead. After breakfast, we left to have our first meeting, so we were all coordinated throughout the week. So let me explain. Vibrart consists of several disciplines and 3 of them were hosted in Guadalajara. Tech Dance, which was a dance festival on Tuesday and Wednesday. The Monologue Festival on Thursday and Friday, and finally the Song Festival on Friday and Saturday. Each day we received a spreadsheet containing which content was required and who was responsible for it. Everything from journalism at the school newspaper to editing videos or even social media posts. And the way data management worked was that we had to upload the unedited materials to a Google Drive folder that was shared across the country so everyone was able to get the material in pretty much real time. This was challenging because I'm used to shooting RAW and then using Lightroom to select and edit the content, which in turn makes your work look so much better. However, this was not the case for the photography aspect of the event, and my first task was to take photos and videos of a dance masterclass. And as you can tell, it was a tricky situation due to the low available light, and we weren't allowed to use flash. So to prevent pushing the ISO too high, I used my 85 1.8. Unfortunately, the autofocus motor on that lens is not working properly, so it was fully manual, and again, I'm short-sighted, so let's just say it was tricky. And when the masterclass ended, we had to shoot some interviews of the teacher and then I ran to the main stage to take photos of the dance rehearsal. And when the work was over, I toured the campus to take some photos of the buildings. And when I ran out of light, we enjoyed some nice burgers to end the day. So by now you know the drill. Breakfast and then the morning meeting. That day we had both the rehearsal and the final competition of tech dance, and in the rehearsal a co-worker and I were tasked with creating a time-lapse of the whole thing for Instagram stories. So we looked for a song to use in the video, and while the ad agency was managing the permissions for that, we went to film the rehearsal. So using this phone selfie stick tripod thing, we were constantly changing angle between each group. I also placed my main camera on a gorilla pod in the middle of the stage to record it with a wide-angle lens. And as soon as the rehearsal was over, we left to edit the whole thing as soon as possible, and this was the end result. Not bad, huh? Then it was time for the real deal, the final competition of the tech dance. For that I was tasked with creating a reel that featured slow motion footage shot on an iPhone. So when I was working the time-lapse, I was also keeping an eye to know what were the most important moments of each choreography, so I wouldn't miss it. The agency also gave me a GoPro to film the group introductions as they were entering the stage. My center stage gorilla pod camera was deemed too dangerous to the dancers, so instead of that, when the production staff was way too busy with the crowds entering the place, I clamped it to the left tower, and as soon as the show started, I hit record and went behind the curtain to do my thing. The challenging part of all of this was that the group entered in the right part of the stage, but the best recording spot for the slow motion footage was in the left, meaning that I had to be running back and forth as soon as each group ended, so that's what I did. And while I was doing one of my runs, the staff blocked the way and told me that I was on camera.
Muy bien, muchas gracias.
So I wouldn't be able to run there anymore. So I asked them where I would be able to cross, since I had to get the shots. and they told me to go to the dressing rooms. Don't worry, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, since the dancers were already dressed. Otherwise, barging in with a camera wouldn't be nice at all. What I did have to worry was that they were rehearsing on the spot, so I had to jump and skip and run like it was a minefield. So yeah, needless to say, I ended up pretty tired, and after the show was done, I had to go back to the office to upload the files of each of the 3 cameras and then upload them to the right folder, and thus another day was done. Fortunately, this day was a lot lighter than yesterday. Breakfast, meeting, and then the main task of the day, which was to edit several videos about what was done in the tech dance final, like this reel, ads.
Tech Dance es un espacio donde podemos compartir la pasión por crear con el cuerpo.
And other social media content for it. And honestly, it was a nice opportunity to quote-unquote rest because I ended up really tired from all that running. We were also given this awesome merch that I'm wearing right now. And when the work day was over, we went to have some sushi and had a really fun time. Breakfast, meeting, and the first task of the day was to record the introductions of each band for the song festival, videos that were projected up on the big screen in the stage. This required some coordination since it required talking to each band to explain to them what was going to happen, who was going to start talking, what they were going to say, and so on. And when we were done, we gave the materials to the agency in charge of all the branding and motion graphics of Vibrart. And what can I say? Staying in an air-conditioned room, drinking work-based Starbucks, and making videos was honestly lovely. After those videos and lunch, we got ready for the Monologue Festival finals. My task there was to work with the news team to record each presentation vertically. And because I was shooting the band introductions, I wasn't able to see them rehearsing, so each monologue was new to me. And while my neck and arms ended up hurting a little bit after shooting the whole show handheld, I truly enjoy all of this. Plus, I had a reserved front row seat for this, which was really nice. The show ended up being rather long since the judges took their sweet time to make a choice. So we ended that day really late. So we didn't get dinner. No regrets though, because back on the main stage we got the opportunity to listen to an amazing live band and to take some photos of them. Our last day in Guadalajara. We kick off the day with the editing of yesterday's content and then off to record a couple of Instagram stories of the rehearsal of the song festival. One was another time-lapse of the whole show, and the other one was to present the experience of being backstage in the dressing room. And as soon as the rehearsal was over, both videos were edited, and as a group we left to have a nice meal before the final event, the Song Festival Final. Here I took some photos of the audience of the show, and then I took some pictures of each band. Some of you have asked to see an editing tutorial of this, so chances are that it will be my next video, so subscribe to stay tuned for that. After the bands were done, we have a special guest, and we also had the chance to take more photos. Unlike the Monologue Festival, the staff only gave us second row seats, so they weren't the best and sometimes the people in the front rows block a little bit of the view. But now that an invited musician had allowed the audience on stage, the photographer's must stay seated rule was, well, kinda over, so I had the chance to stand up and take some more photos. And just as they were about to announce the winners, my boss signaled me to be ready. And I wasn't. I wasn't on the list to do that, so I didn't expect to take the winners' photos. Fortunately, I had brought my flash just in case, and well, that saved the day. Again, as soon as the scene was over, we went to the media room and started uploading everything, and since the week was ending, we took some group photos. We finished rather late, and since our flights left really early, we decided not to sleep. We packed our things from the dorm and left on a bus at 3 AM. We got to the airport at 4 and we left at 6. The good thing about an early flight is that we had the chance to see this gorgeous sunrise. So yeah, this was probably one of the most fun weeks of my life. I think that it was both a challenging and a rewarding experience. Also, having the chance to meet face to face with other like-minded storytellers was really nice. I'm really glad that I was able to collaborate in this festival, and well, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thanks for watching and until the next time.